In my previous video, I showed you how to deploy a virtual machine. Today, I shall talk about some more settings about the virtual machine. So here I am on my Azure dashboard. I shall go and click on virtual machines. And over here, you can see that I have the one virtual machine that I have deployed earlier. Click on that. On the dashboard of my virtual machine, you can see some important information about the settings of the virtual machine. So currently my status is running. My virtual machine is in West US 3. My subscription is pay as you go. I have my public IP address from which I can access this virtual machine, do an RDP into it. And I have my private address as well. It gives you some more information about the size of the virtual machine, the disk of the virtual machine, and so on. On the left-hand side, if I click on activity log, this will tell me about the activity of my virtual machine. For example, when it was deployed, if it was redeployed or not, if I created a role assignment for this virtual machine, and so on. So previously I'd created a role assignment for this virtual machine, and in my next video, I'll show you how to do that as well. But for this video, I'll move on to the next setting, which is the access control. Over here, it will tell you what my access control is. So I can check my access by saying view my access. And since I'm the owner of this subscription, I will have owner access on this resource because it is inherited from the subscription. By default, I will be the owner of every resource that is deployed in this subscription. Moving on to the role assignments, it will tell me exactly what role I am. As you can see, there is one unknown identity because I had created a user and given him a contributor role and then deleted the user. So hence unable to find the identity because the user is deleted. I'll remove this for now and let's move on to the next setting. So it's removed now. You can see that there's only one user. Move on to the next setting, which is tags. Pretty self-explanatory. If you want to put any tags on your virtual machine, which department it belongs to or which subscription it belongs to, you can go and put in your tags over here. If your virtual machine has run into any problems, you can run a troubleshooter and it will tell you what exactly is your problem. Currently, everything looks fine. See, if you cannot start the VM, you can go and troubleshoot. Okay. You can see cannot RDP. And you can, currently everything looks fine. And there is no problem with my virtual machine. So I should just go back to diagnose and solve problems. Now on the next tab is my networking. Over here, it will tell you my network interface, my public IP, my private IP, the inbound port rules, the outbound port rules, if I have any application security groups, or if I have any load balancing done on this VM. Currently, I have no load balancer, so there's nothing here. Now, if I want to connect to my virtual machine, I click on connect, I download the RDP file, and then I go and connect it with my username and password. Windows Admin Center is also something that I would talk about in one of my upcoming videos. It's basically, you can download an admin center and you can connect all your VMs to that admin center and manage it from that. If I move on to disks, I have only one OS disk at the moment, but if I want to create and attach a data disk, I can do so by creating and attaching a volume here. Select the disk name, what type of storage it is, the size, the max IOPS, and so on, and then create. But I shall not do this for now, so I'll just discard by clicking on discard on the top. Similarly, the size of the VM, I can go and increase my size. Currently, I'm using one virtual CPU, one RAM, 1 gig of RAM, 2 data disks, and so on. So I will, if I want to, I can just go and select the one that I want and resize. Moving on to Microsoft Defender for Cloud, I have the basic subscription. So currently there are 0 recommendation and 0 security alerts for this VM. And one of the last settings that I would like to show you over here is the locks. So if I want to add a resource lock, I can do so by going into locks, clicking on add. And you can see that I have two types of resource locks. One is read only and one is delete. If I click on delete and say lock name is delete. Sorry about that. I say lock name is delete. Say delete. So now I have a resource lock and nobody can delete my virtual machine until this lock has been deleted. Since I'm the admin, I can go ahead and delete this lock. But before I do so, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Delete with VM. I want to delete all my resources as well. And say delete. Let's see. It says failed to delete. An error has occurred because I have put the resource locked. See, your resources are locked. So if I go back to locks and if I delete my lock, now I have no resource locks. If I go ahead and let's try and delete this again. Please, this is a test environment. Do not delete anything in your live environment. I'd say go and delete. Be careful while doing this, because it will erase all your disks, your data, and everything that is related to your virtual machine. And keep deleting my virtual machine. Now you can see that my virtual machine has been successfully deleted. If I go to virtual machines and click refresh, give it a minute. The status is still deleting. If you give it a minute, it should disappear from here. See, there is no virtual machines because my virtual machine has been deleted. Thank you for watching, and if you do have any comments, any feedback about my videos, please do mention it in the comments below. I'd highly appreciate it. Thank you for watching.